Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. I'd love for the Skibidi Toilet series to keep going, but let's be realistic. It's going to come to an end eventually. It can't last forever for obvious reasons. I happened to think about this yesterday while scrolling through shorts and stumbled upon a video by Skibidi Toilet. In his animation, he showed what the ending might look like. And to my surprise, it was really cool and heartfelt. I especially liked the idea of showing the mothership falling as a symbol that the Astro Toilet problem was resolved. Plus, the slowed-down version of "everyone wants to rule the world" fit the scene perfectly. We'll come back to that video later, but for now, let me continue my thought. Based on all the interviews Boom has given, especially one of the more recent ones where he mentioned the hottest Skibidi Toilet episodes going up to 103 and beyond, I've got some good news. The finale is still far away. That's why it's almost impossible to predict how the series will end. So instead, I decided to talk about the end of the Astro arc specifically. Imagine this. The last Astro Toilet has fallen, and all the surviving Titans and agents are shaking hands, celebrating, and getting ready for a peaceful life. If I stopped there, you'd call me out because that's not a complete conclusion. The Astro arc can't end without complications. There needs to be a but, something that transitions the story to a new enemy while making it just as, if not more, interesting than the Astro Toilets. And it's exactly this but and my thoughts on what could come next that I want to discuss today. At the end of this video, we'll also talk about another troll leak where this time, it's not the Skibidi Nemi getting slapped, but Simp Cameraman. If you've been following my YouTube community, you already know my opinion on this situation. But today, I'll share our plan to save poor Simp. This is a really important mission, guys. If we don't step in, Elite Cameraman will start beating up everyone who's in love with TV Woman. And let's be real, that's almost every other Skibidi Toilets viewer. Let's make a deal. Every subscription to this channel adds one person to my team of Avengers. And every like on this video helps spread the word about our initiative so more people can learn about this injustice. So, watch until the end to hear my plan. Let's get started. To answer such a big question about transitioning to the next arc, we need at least a small hint or example of how it might happen. In the case of Skibidi Toilets, I think episode 70 is a good reference point. That's when it was practically spelled out that the next enemies would be the Astro Toilets. This happened right after the death of the scientist. You can notice a pattern here. A key transition moment seems to be the death of an important enemy character. As for the current Astro Toilet arc, I think the key figures whose deaths could signal a transition are the Astro Duchess and the Mothership. If they're destroyed, two scenarios are possible. Either a new leader emerges, like the Astro UFO, who immediately seeks revenge, or the war ends temporarily, but with preparations for an even stronger comeback in the future. In either case, the Astro Toilets won't disappear entirely. A traditional victory over them seems impossible, considering they're a spacefaring race that has conquered countless planets. Boom himself mentioned this in my interview. So, even if the Alliance achieves a win by, say, episode 80, it would only be a localized victory. To secure a global victory, the Alliance would need to step up their game, developing their own space technologies and achieving super speed to ensure defense from space. Without this, the fight against the Astro Toilets will always be defensive, with slim chances of completely defeating them. And you know what's the hardest part about all of this? As you might have noticed, the Astro threat isn't just another simple enemy like the Skibidi parasites. It's such a massive problem that it's hard to imagine a new type of enemy topping it. That's why I believe the next arc will start with peace, but it won't last long. It'll be brief. Let's imagine a scenario where the Astro Toilets leave Earth alone for a while. To keep the epic battles going, there would need to be some kind of inter-arc conflict. If we pay attention to some details and Boom's focus on computer technology, the detective cameraman, and the secret agent, it's logical to assume that after a localized victory over the Astro Toilets, a civil war arc might begin, this time between former allies. Yes, you heard me right. I'm talking about a renewed conflict between the Skibidi Toilets and the Alliance. But hold on, don't start throwing tomatoes at me yet. Let me explain. In the series, the most mysterious characters are undoubtedly the secret agent and G-Man. Even the TV man scientist mentioned G-Man, and if you remember, he called him a hidden leader. Now, G-Toilet and the agent are definitely connected. Just think of the TV men's books found with the Skibidi Toilets or the green spheres that belong to G-Man. They're solid proof. Right now, with the help of Detective Cameraman, we're slowly uncovering the secret agent's plan. This is the groundwork for a smooth transition to a new arc. Let me remind you that the capture of Lucky Cameraman is part of the agent's plan, and the alliance is far from the truth. At best, they're following an artificial trail, and at worst, they'll find a falsehood they'll fully believe. I've mentioned in previous videos that, in my opinion, while the secret agent may be a good guy, his methods are extreme and ruthless, all for the sake of results. But lately, I'm getting the impression that his radicalism isn't just in his actions, but in his philosophy as well. Let me give you an example so you can understand what I mean. Suppose the secret agent has 346 plans to defeat the Astro Toilets. Among them is an extreme one where, for some reason, he decides to sacrifice the entire Speakerman race, wiping them out completely. For him, this plan is just a means to an end, whereas for most others, it would be utterly unacceptable. It's the kind of philosophy where the end justifies the means taken to its absolute extreme. While such methods could lead to victory, it raises a serious question. How far is too far? Where's the line where even noble intentions turn into tyranny? In my view, the next arc will address this kind of question. What's most interesting is that Mr. Boom wouldn't even need to create new enemies to raise the stakes. In fact, increasing the scale of threats any further might be dangerous for the series. It risks turning the story into something like Marvel's multiverse situation, where the stakes are so high that viewers find it hard to relate to what's happening. It becomes too abstract to connect with emotionally. To dial things back and bring a more grounded, emotionally charged tone to the story, a Civil War arc would be perfect. It could focus on unraveling G-Man's and the secret agent's secrets, as well as their clashes with detectives from different factions. This approach would add more intrigue, conflict, and personal drama, making the story not only visually spectacular, but also emotionally engaging. This arc could even show how preparations for a renewed Astro Toilet attack unfold, but with elements of endless disputes and investigations. It's a fascinating topic to explore, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We might revisit this idea in the future. Now, for the most important part of this video, what's the plan to save Simp Cameraman? Before I get into it, I want to thank you all for supporting my initiative to help Brown. Your amazing comments have proven that we're a strong community, and some of you have shown an excellent sense of humor. First of all, let me make an important disclaimer. I don't want to fight Elite Cameraman one-on-one because it wouldn't be fair. I've got an iron suit, and he's just in a regular one. It wouldn't be manly to take him on like that. Plus, I have no interest in fighting over someone else's girl. My camera woman wouldn't understand and might get jealous. It's better if justice is served by Simp himself, with a little help from us. So first, we need to find his body, piece it back together, and repair him. Then, we'll need to find a good boxing coach to train him. And just in case, as a backup plan, we could contact Godzilla to step in and help at the last moment. That would be fair and honorable, in my opinion. Oh, there's also a third option to solve this peacefully. We could put Elite Cameraman in one corner of the ring and Simp in the other. Then, invite TV Woman to stand in the middle. After that, they'd have 3 rounds to win her heart in different ways. Whoever she runs to would be the winner. If TV Woman hugs one of them, it's an instant knockout, and the winner is declared immediately. But what if TV Woman doesn't love either of them and walks away? And then Simp and Elite surprisingly become friends because they find a common enemy? That would be fascinating to watch, don't you think? So starting today, I'll be representing Simp Cameraman. All we need now is a trainer, Godzilla, and a referee for this match. If anyone wants to join the Justice team, welcome aboard. It's going to be a legendary showdown.
For pleasure, for scientist, for Simp.